Meet Charley Sunday's Texas outfit.
An old-fashioned cattle drive began today just outside Denver, Colorado. 300 Texas longhorn cattle on their way home at last. This modern-day cattle drive is being made possible by a group of crusty old cowboys from the Lone Star State of Texas.
My parents migrated to this new land in 1820 when Stephen F. Austin convinced the Mexican government to allow 300 American families to settle in the territory.
If I hadn't
3 years
been
later,
so dang small when I was
1823,
born, I suppose I wouldn't have got the name Feather stuck to me right off like I done. This and here's a real featherweight, the midwife that helped birth me was supposed to have said when she picked me up for the first time. Thank God they didn't call me Tiny. Oh, there's been times when some Ranahan or other has called me that. And
Well, I was born and raised on a small farm in Oklahoma Territory. As you might have guessed by now, my daddy was either rich or poor when I was growing up. Oklahoma was considered Indian country back then, and I come to find out later on that my family was living there illegally throughout most of my childhood. Daddy kept us there in Indian Territory, so we'd always have a safe place to come back to if one of his money-making schemes got out of hand. By the time I was 12,
I'm 10 and a half years old, and I've been riding horses nearly all my life. My grandpa Charlie put me in a saddle way before I could walk, and I actually went riding with him while I was still in diapers. We live up there in Austin now, but me and my parents were living on Grandpa's ranch in Juanita when I was born. When I was around 2 or 3 years old,
traveling show people, my parents. Daddy was a pretty good juggler, and my mother was the target for a knife-throwing act. They both had an agent in St. Louis who would book them into theaters, saloons, church picnics, and whatever else needed their talents all over the country. They were not carnival performers, mind you. They were both top professionals in the field. When I was doing my
But my
shooting
family
act in
back in
Chicago,
Texas wasn't that excited about my new career. Grandmother knew that it would keep me from settling down with a husband and family, like all the girls I had grown up with had done or were doing. My grandmother, who was the matriarch of our family, at that time even forbade me from traveling back to New York where I would be starting my new job with the syndication service. That was when I broke all ties with my family and somehow was able to travel across the country all by myself and start my job with a new syndicate. Then, wouldn't you know...
I was nearly 15 years old when I escaped from that boarding school. I stole some white man clothing from where they were drying on a rope and found a hat big enough to hide my hair. Then I traveled south to Texas and went looking for work on any ranch that would have me. I was befriended by one ranch owner I had asked for a job, and he hired my services as a post hole digger. I also worked as a cowboy when his herd was ready for market. That was my first cattle drive, and we moved that herd to Dodge City, Kansas. It was in Dodge City where I saw my first real lawyer in action. I had been arrested and was put in jail for the crime of being an Indian. The city
I was
marshal
born right there on the trail, so I never had a real place to call my home. But me and Charlie had been together for so long, I forgot just how we did meet. But I'm sure it was when we was Rangers together. The Rangers weren't that big of an outfit back then, so you pretty well knew everyone who was serving when you wore the badge. Me and Charlie and old Feather Martin were assigned a few cases together, and we'd done good.
I told Jared that the real story was just beginning. And when you got absolutely no cooperation from anyone in Denver concerning your transportation problems, and your grandfather agreed we'd drive them to Texas, that was when I came up with the idea to make my little human interest story into a series of on-the-trail tales, all about the Texas outfit and their daily struggles along the way with their herd of longhorns. You know the rest of my story, Henry Ellis. It just keeps unfolding with every mile we go.
Take them to Texas, gentlemen.
Yeehaw! Get going, you little doggies!
Charley Sunday's Texas outfit.
Available now in Graphic Audio.